Hi everybody and welcome to today's video in which I'll be reviewing Now Conjurers by Freddie Kölsch. This was a fantastic debut. Straight off the bat, I'm just going to say I gave it 5 out of 5 stars and hopefully you'll see why as I go through my review. But we're going to start off with a synopsis. I'm just going to give you a synopsis from Goodreads. I listened to this via audiobook. The narration was bang on as well. So this is set in 1999 Massachusetts. Nesbit Nunez discovers the partially devoured body of Bastien Attia, star quarterback, secret witch, and Nesbit's even more secret boyfriend. No one knew why brilliant, gentle Bastien lived his life by a seemingly arcane set of rules, including a strange manner of speech and an odd inability to say his own name. Now the remaining members of the North Coven, Nesbit, Dove, Drea, and Brandy, vow to get answers and hopefully some revenge. Nothing can prepare them for what they uncover. Bastien had in fact been locked in a terrifying battle of wits and wills, with something incredibly sinister living deep beneath the ancient mausoleum in the local cemetery. North Coven must together confront and defeat the red-gloved monster that took piece after piece of Bastien and hopefully come out on top. It is marketed strangely on BorrowBox as dark romance. I wouldn't really say that. It's a dark book and it's got romantic elements, but it's not a dark romance. When I think of that, I think of like Forbidden Lovers or something that's like a romance that's quite toxic, and it wasn't. I wouldn't say that. Definitely horror, YA, LGBT, fantasy, mystery, sci-fi elements. It had a lot. Definitely not dark romance though, but I digress. 5 out of 5 stars. This was a fantastic read, and here's why. This was full of so many fantastic queer characters in the form of this teen coven at school, trying to make the best of this bad deal with this demon that I was mentioning in the synopsis. Delved into a timeline where the characters didn't exist, but this coven remembered, and obviously that was frustrating and confusing to begin with for them. But trying to get to the bottom of it and get back that name and that power as the goal was such a fascinating thread of storytelling, and the way it was done was incredibly Moorish. It explored the themes of time travel, not into a complex way or a confusing way, but the use of it as a tool in telling this story just expanded it so well. It was well utilized, I would say. It progressed the plot in a way that just had me guessing continuously, intrigued, eager to find out, but as I say, never confusing or conflicting with, you know, the direction it was going in. What I really enjoyed about this as well is that the magic felt tangible, and because of that, believable, as did the characters who I adored. There were some that was more likable than others, but they all served a purpose and they worked to create a fantastic story. I mentioned about the romance. It did have romantic aspects in it, and I did really adore those parts of it too, especially being so queer, but it didn't overshadow the main plot in trying to solve what had happened to Bastien and get answers. So I loved that it was kind of like a secondary narrative going on under the surface. This was set in the very late 90s, and I feel like the era that it was chosen for this was fantastic. I loved the references to popular and niche alternative pop culture, especially with reference to the Neverending Story, which is like one of my favorite things ever, so that was a plus to me. I mean, the name Bastien, you know, it's a given. Loved it. And although it felt very of its time, or the time period that it was set in, it also felt really aware and diverse in its themes, particularly pertaining to sexuality and identity, you know, whether this was suppressed, internalized homophobia, or being open and out in life and living their truth to the fullest, as well as the alternative weird kid goth scene. I just loved all the aspects that was woven into this story. It didn't feel overcrowded with too many things going on or too many themes, or like it was trying to pour at all these different topics. It just felt like it fit, and the story that was created and told from that was fantastic. I was fully immersed in this experience. I absolutely adored the story from the get-go, it feels, and oftentimes it felt like I was part of the coven myself. was heavily invested from the start and would definitely pick up anything else this author brings out in the future. So that is my review of Now Conjurers by Freddie Kölsch. Do let me know if you've read it yourself, and thank you so much for watching. I shall catch you in another video soon. Bye.